Yo, so the twin. This is the new film from JC Doler. I believe JC also co-writes the film with Paul Petersen. It is produced by who have we got? Paul Petersen, Alexander Jeffrey, Brittany Fallow, Chris Allen Evans, Logan Donovan, and JC Doler. It is executive produced by Tamra Corley, Holger Fuchs, Ben Holler, Andrew Swartzberg, Jamie Swartzberg, and Andrew Swartzberg. Right, associate produced by Brian Horn. Okie dokie. So the score, the music is Zavad Mugber. Joel Froome took care of cinematography. JC Doler also edits the piece, so a lot of hats, right? Stephen Tyler O'Connor handled all our casting. Production design is Reese Rourke. Taylor Bracewell is costume design. Hair and makeup, we have Claire Banter, Lisa O'Neill, and Lindsay Pellett. What else do we have? Greg Brazel, Barry Hanley, and Tim J. Smith took care of stunts. Right, and our cast. Right, so Nicholas is played by Logan Donovan. A young version of Nick is played by Tucker Grumbles. We have got his wife, Charlie, played by Alexa Palladino. His grandma is played by Pam Doherty. Nick and Charlie's son, Jacob, is played by Tripp Toupal. We have got Dr. Beaumont, right? He is played by Robert Longstreet. There's Shelby, played by Shannon Cochran. Miles, played by Alex Barron. Sherry Eakin is Louise. Kylie is Betsy Borrego. We have got Tidwell, played by Chris Allen Evans. Hasty Hawk, played by Alexander Jeffrey. JC Doler is Rhyming Rabbit. Fiery Fox is Taylor Bracewell. Bubble Bear is Paul Petersen. Right. Okay, right. Well, people, you know, like, I wondered, you know, when I saw Alexander Jeffries as producer, I did wonder, and it is indeed, right? It's Alexander Jeffries, who we spoke to a couple of years ago about his documentary You Have No Idea, which was really good. You know what I mean? So definitely that's one to check out if you haven't seen it. So the gist of the twin is, after the tragic loss After the tragic loss of his son, a man begins experiencing terrifying visions of a figure that looks like himself. As reality unravels, he must confront his past and the supernatural force haunting him before it consumes him completely. Right, so yeah, it's an interesting one, right? Because you can look at it as a supernatural being, right? Or you can look at it as grief, the manifestation of grief, right? Because we have, this situation where, we got this family, they're all happy, everything's good. And, Nick's a painter. He's in his studio painting while Jacob is watching TV, dancing around, having fun, just being a kid, right? I'm assuming it's Halloween because there's pumpkins, and I don't think you'd have pumpkins any other time, right? I don't think so. I mean, I'm not a Halloween person, really, so I don't know. But that's what I'm assuming, right? So, yeah, unfortunately, the kid dies, right? It's an accident. It's an accident. But here's the thing. It's one of those situations where you can definitely beat yourself up at, right? It's like, I could have done, I should have done, just all of these things, right? So all of these things can definitely lead to just that inner hatred of oneself. You know what I mean? Like, it's that situation where, can a marriage get through this kind of thing? It's just everything, it can rip everything apart, right? And I think that's what we're seeing in this film. And it's no surprise that Nick and Charlie are, apart, essentially, right? But, something happens, and so Nick has to see a counselor. He doesn't want to, but the counselor is trying to get him to open up, right? To look at what happened and the fact that, it wasn't his fault. But that is this very complicated process. And because of it, Nick's not sleeping, he's just a wreck. And he's kind of blacking out, like seeing things. But it's one of those ones where I think you can look at it as this horrible thing happened, right? It's a genuine accident. But you think, because you hate yourself for it, you think everyone's talking about it, right? Like, everyone's like, oh, look, there's a guy. He's the one that let this happen. He did. That's what you think's going to happen. And is happening. And we see all of those things chipping away at Nick, right? And so it's like he feels he's seeing things, hearing things, and being affected by things, which is, that's grief, right? That is flagellation. You know what I'm saying, people, right? That's what this is. But is it, right? And I kind of feel that's I think that's where the film kind of lets itself down. Now, that's just my opinion, right? It's because I kind of think the more ambiguous you keep it, the creepier it is. You know, because as I said, you can look at this in, you know, a few ways. So the longer you keep your audience guessing, that's a pivotal thing to a film like this, you know? And they don't quite do that, right? Like, there is definitely a leaning to a certain side of things as we draw to a close on the film. Now, I did, with the ending itself, I did think it's a little bit ambiguous. And in a certain way, you know, once you watch it, you'll understand. But I kind of wish they didn't. Right? I think there's another point towards the end where if it had ended on that note, boom, that's like, yeah, that's something. Right? And there's a smartness to it. But it doesn't. Now, I think we've had a lot of films that deal with grief, deal with, you know, kind of the manifestation of that grief in all of these different ways. Right? So because of that, it's interesting to see different takes on the matter. You know what I mean? That is very interesting to me. And I think we got some decent acting, all of that, right? And especially some of these effects where we're seeing Nick kind of traverse his grief line, right? The timeline of events that he sees it as in. Not necessarily how everything played out, but it's what, you know, Nick in his self-hate is seeing things. And yeah, you know, it's an interesting approach, right? I don't know, as I said, if all the execution quite works, or not that it doesn't work, but it's just, I think it didn't need to be there, right? And without it, the film is just creepier, you know? But that's just me, people. You know, as I said, it's put together well, you know? But there's just a few storytelling things that, you know, I thought could have been sharper, right? But if you like like a horror thriller, like something that is dealing with that psychological level, if that's your thing, then The Twin could very well be for you. It's you know, viewable on Shudder. Man, for a minute I was like, oh, what's the name of that thing? Yeah, Shudder. You know, and I've said it so many times, right? If horror is your thing, then yeah, you probably should be having Shudder, right? But yeah, there you go, people. So my views on The Twin.